about us being able to continue those meetings if they go longer.
That'll work.
It'll work the same way.
So we're gonna be good. Okay.
Okay.
The second one is that I just make a motion that we hold our election at the last meeting of this month.
And the election would become official at the first meeting of next month?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Okay. All right, so you're asking that
I made that as a motion.
as a motion.
Second. No second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, don't you think y'all need to add to do that except on
Election.
election year, and then that
Well,
way we ain't gotta go back and change.
We'll have to do this every year, Joe, because we've got a standing resolution that it's always that way. So we'll have to do this motion every year unless we change that standing resolution.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. So the chairman, vice chairman election will be held on October 22nd
For this year.
of this year, and I'm going to make an assumption that we will do that at the end of that meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Perfect. Commissioner Mills, I've skipped you. Do you have anything you need to say?
I do
on
not.
that?
No, I'm
Okay.
good.
Because it don't take
All right,
effect till the
Commissioner
next
Hardy?
month.
Yeah, I just want to briefly talk about my pink jacket tonight. I'm actually representing one of the men in pink in Chilton County for the October is breast cancer awareness. There is going to be a dinner banquet November the 7th at 6 p.m. in Jemison, which is $35 a ticket. You know, not only just breast cancer awareness, but Relay for Life. And I'm sure there's nobody in this room that has not been impacted by this thing called cancer. And the funds, and I asked a lot of questions. I've been told that before, so I asked some questions when I met with those ladies today and asked them how much the percentage of it actually goes to research, and I was told by the lady there was 80% that goes to research, and I was really impressed with that because of, you know, this is a deadly disease that affects every one of us in some way or another. If you ain't maybe had to sit with a loved one or have someone there, and I think that we as a community should get behind this. There's several guys on this campaign here in the county just doing the Men in Pink. So if you get an opportunity to go or give or donate, just try to participate. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank
It's
you.
a good cause, and thank you for being willing to do that, Jimmy. Commissioner Headley,
Yeah, I don't have,
you don't want to do
no,
the letter at this point to write them and just send them the info, or?
yeah, I guess we can do that, send the letter.
Just giving them the information where they can,
Well,
okay,
And then maybe they can get with Butch and schedule a meeting.
okay. All right, do we have a second on that?
Second.
I second, and I'll just add to it that per our attorney that we're going to offer this resolution.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll-
Okay.
So this resolution will be just to send out the information regarding proposed requirements for the volunteer fire departments and audit requirements. And what that'll do is just be a conversation starter. Not that we're accepting that as those points, but we just want to send them the information and the law and those materials that were provided to us so that they can begin those discussions and have those available for their meeting. I think you said in November?
So we're gonna have a work session to discuss adopting these procedures?
Well,
Because we're not adopting them tonight. We're just
No.
gonna send them out and let them look at them.
Let them
Yeah.
review them, and then they'll get back with Butch, and then Butch will get with us, and then there'll be a meeting set up.
Work
ready to-
session, that's right.
they need to have time to review them and then submit their comments, and they can do that through their association or whatever. And, you know, everybody's gonna have a different issue or maybe some additions or deletions that they wanna talk about. Give them some time to digest the proposed criteria, and after they've done that together, then they can either come or send representatives, and we'll tackle that at that point in the work session, Al.
Well, the departments that have called me are concerned about, you know, it's time for them to do their taxes and stuff, and so they're wanting to do whatever we're gonna require them to do. So They just, would like for us to act pretty fast on it for them.
Well, I mean, what is your opinion on how quick y'all could get together and talk to your
In
member?
my opinion, as soon as y'all could get the rules set up the way y'all want them, let us have them. That way we turn them over to them, and there's not really any discussion after that.
Well,
Because it is set up, y'all have set the rules.
Right.
They're pretty, I think they're pretty much set to, like they are to follow, to where that'll get y'all the cheapest price
Right.
that you can possibly get, and it'll comply with the.
well, I'm gonna reiterate, but that's what we talked about in the meeting. We were,
Yes.
I'm good with our attorney's recommendation
Of just like
of this research that he done.
it is.
Like it is.
You wanna go ahead and offer a resolution that we accept?
Yeah. I'll make
Because we
a
talked about it
recommendation
in our meeting.
They
in our
work, I mean,
work session.
What the
Janice and them worked on this thing pretty hard, and so it's,
has recommended us to do.
yeah.
So
They-
it'll be made available to the public. But what we're talking about is instead of requiring a full-fledged audit for the volunteer fire departments, is we're gonna make a compromise and we're gonna use a compliance audit, which will be much cheaper. And there's a list of requirements here that are put out, minimum requirements that are put out by the Department of Public Examiners for rural volunteer fire departments. And we're essentially doing what they're already requiring. And just simply, instead of them coming and auditing you guys, we'll say you gotta turn those in within 6 months
Yeah. I would say.
of the end of your fiscal year, because their taxes are due within 4.5 months of their end of their fiscal year.
I think
we
they said
discussed
4 months.
4 months at the end of the, which will be
It says 4.5 in here.
4.5,
Yeah, right here, 4.5
4.5
months.
months. So,
But that would be their tax time.
yeah, which
So
will
would
be,
you give them time to prep their audit after they get their taxes done is why I would say 6.
Well, the first one is one that's gonna be kinda slow. Once they get that first one done, it's just gonna be repetitious after that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So do we have a consensus on the time period?
Yeah. I would say the 6 months.
I like
really.
6 months.
Yeah,
Y'all
to
okay
give
with
'em-
6 months?
but
So would you make your resolution to say that it would be due within 6
within
months
6
of
months.
the end of their particular fiscal year? Okay,
Not necessarily,
I'm sorry.
not necessarily in the resolution, but from our fire association, I would like a list of each department and when that would be for them, when it would be due. That way we can keep up with it in our office. And it'll- Yeah, that way we'll know when their 6 months is up.
Well, I
So-
think the lady that does the audit, or just gonna talk to them about the audit, will probably get that for us too.
Okay.
Just need to make sure.
Yeah.
right.
What we need to just rescind that last resolution and then make a motion to accept these procedures.
I rescind my motion and Joe can rescind
Okay.
it.
All right,
Could I ask a question? about
please.
that? We've had Howell involved the last 3 years that we've gone through the shenanigans we had several years ago. And we've been providing financial review, a lot cheaper than the audit because the audit costs a lot of money. Is that what you're talking about, a compliance review? Is that the same thing as a financial review?
It won't be an internal review. It'll have to be done according to these principles that are outlined in here by the Department of Examiners. But my understanding is an internal audit is not sufficient for their requirements. So you will have to have an external, probably CPA.
That's what we're doing. We've
Right.
got CPA.
It'll still have to meet
It's
these
detailed.
You'll have- okay.
18 criteria, and what you're doing now probably meets those, but it'll be a standardized criteria for every fire department. Because we have a lot of guys that are doing it now, it's just standardizing it.
He said they were using highway, so
Okay. Okay, and you had one more comment? Okay, all right. Any other concerns? So are we going to start over with a new motion? Is that where we are? And Joe,
He
you were
made a
going,
motion.
to offer the motion,
Yes.
to move forward with
With what?
what Roger and
Roger.
Janice Hull has outlined, working together here
With the
as
6
the
months.
requirements.
With the 6 months.
with 6 months. Sylvia, do you feel good about that resolution and having it documented well enough to put it in the minutes?
I think so.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Gee, I'm sorry. That's all right.
That's fine. We're good? Everybody good? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, guys. Commissioner Langston.
I'm going to request a resolution tonight to dedicate 1/2 mile of road to Lynn Gothard, starting at the intersection of County Road 38 and 42, and continue past West Chilton Fire Department and end at intersection of County Road 42 and County Road 50.
So
Sec-
moved. Oh,
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I do.
I made motions. I was, yeah.
When I would like to get a picture, it's a good time for Anthony not to be here, isn't it?
Ain't that mad?
I would like to get a picture with every member of the West Chilton Fire Department and Lynn's wife and his father with the commission out front. I would like to get that picture
Out on the,
out here.
okay. Let's vote on the resolution and then we'll do the picture after the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And we'll have that time for the photo now.
All right. Sylvia, have you got your camera?
Y'all will push your chairs up where it'll at least look tidy in the back.
Mouse, stay up here. I got you.
We'll give it to Sylvia. Let me get on the end because I'm so short, nobody will see me. I'm just kidding. Come here, Steve. We got the plaque. We will figure out how to get in here. Come here, Steve.
Can Lynn's father and his wife come
Okay.
forward to be? On behalf of the county commission, we want to present to the family of Lynn Gothard his badge number 1214 to West Chilton Fire and Rescue Department. Sadly, he passed on January the 27th, 2019. In recognition of his 40 years of volunteer service to the West Chilton Fire and Rescue Department and to protecting the citizens of Chilton County, we express our deepest appreciation and gratitude. His devotion to the community and the love for the department will never be forgotten.
Thank y'all for sharing them with the camera.
Thank you. Thank y'all very much.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
I work with them up there.
Yes, it is. Yes, sir. You'll be putting sign for the road too, correct? I'll get Tony. Me too.
We're gonna roll now.
All right, brother. Love you. Good to see you. Call me. All right.
I'd like to thank all of y'all for that.
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all very much. appreciate that, guys.
That was pretty awesome experience, guys. It really was. Commissioner Moore, do you have anything
I don't have-
you need to
no,
address?
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll move on to administrative reports. Ms. Sylvia?
I'd like to request a resolution to close the nominations for the Chilton Water Authority Board and appoint.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We had one nomination,
We
so
did.
by default, Miss Anna Lockhart is our new representative to the Chilton County Water Authority.
I'll notify the Chilton Water Board.
Thank you.
You
This
just
is our
did.
second meeting. Would like to open for other nominations for the Chilton Clanton Library.
Do we have any further nominations? Okay.
We got one, haven't we?
We have a request, but this is just the second
Okay,
meeting.
all right.
She'll bring that name to us at our next meeting, and then we'll close nominations
Okay.
and vote on it.
Request a resolution to approve line item transfers to balance the reappraisal budget as listed below. This doesn't change the bottom line of the budget, it merely evens out the negative balances.
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
And as there were, we could not find any encumbrances on the balance for the reappraisal, they'll have a carry forward of $201,513.26 and request resolution to approve that carryover of unencumbered funds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for discussion. That money apparently goes back to the state and will be applied to his next year's budget in reappraisal. Is that correct, Sylvia?
It, actually, if we roll it over, it'll stay in our funds, however, it will come off the budget for,
The appropriations that
yes,
come next year will
well,
be
yes, for the
reduced.
current year.
So we've essentially saved the state $201,000 this year.
Yes, sir.
Through good operations. Thank you. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
That is all I have.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.